It's time for bookkeeping, beer, and BS.
Okay, let me ask you this. So, I don't know how old you are. I'm not going to ask. But if you rewound the clock, if you could go back in time, I don't know. You're probably, I think you're 32, 37. That's my guess. But
those are two guesses.
You're just a handsome young man and a business builder, an entrepreneur with ADD like a lot of us. I'm like, all right, go Brandon. If you could
I'm
go
39,
back in time,
by the way. I'm 39. Although
39.
I'm born on leap year, so next year I'll be 10.
Okay, good. Perfect. Wow. You're the most successful. You made the Forbes, 10
under 10.
Top 10.
Yeah, that's right.
If you went back and talked to your 20-year-old self regarding business and the trials and tribulations of success, what would you tell him?
Oh man, what would I tell me, or what would young Brandon listen to?
Well, no, that's the question you cannot answer.
Honestly, the biggest epiphanies that I've had that have made the most profound impact on me has been, it's all in the team. I mean, it's all in the team. It's hard though too, because young Brandon went through the fire and got the lumps and bumps and bruises, and had the panic attacks, and the everything that an entrepreneur goes in a lot of ways. I was kind of forged through fire and hardened through fire that way, and it's made me sharper. It's made me a better entrepreneur. So I don't know if I'd want to do anything differently, because those are just such valuable lessons. Now, if I could somehow inject my brain into 20-something-year-old Brandon's brain, that would be helpful, because they have all those lessons kind of like intrinsically burned into it.
Yeah.
But the team is everything. And so often in my young entrepreneurial journey, I got into this habit of hiring people and then teaching them how to do everything that I knew how to do. It's like, I hire a technician and I'm going to teach you how to do all the things. I hire a production manager, and here's how you should be a production manager. An office manager, here's how you should do all the office management stuff. And I just hired all these, entry level positions and kind of trade them up to a little bit less than kind of where I was, so to speak. And so therefore I was the smartest person in the company, and therefore I was the bottleneck. And really my first kind of big boy pants business emerged from when I started hiring people that were smarter than me, like Steve, who was ex-military, rope certified operations manager for a 50 employee company. And I brought him in, and he's like, "Where's your load plans for your vehicles?" I'm like, "What's a load plan?" He's like, "I got you." So it's like that type of shift. And I just continue to level up more and more and more to where, now I'm hiring CEOs of, multiple six figures that have scaled companies from 3 million to 300 million, and they know how to do it. And it's just a whole different mindset shift. It's kind of changed everything for me. So if I could get young Brandon to figure that out early, I think he'd be a lot better off, at least quicker, I should say.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. It's almost countercultural, because we, the Hollywood culture, or the things that we see that they get promoted a lot. It's like it's the Rambo, it's the Lone Ranger, it's the guy, like you got the solo hero. It's like Batman saves everything. It's like
a lot of gurus do that too now. In the business space, it's like hustle, grind. 60, 80, 100 hours a week. It's worth it. And I do think there's a level of needing to know what's going on, so that you're not delegating by abdication. You're not just saying, "Hey, you know how to do all this stuff. Great, you do it all." And then, what happens if they leave and you don't really have a good understanding of what that is, or what happens if they start being shady and start, embezzling something. So you still have to know enough to be dangerous, but you can learn those things, with the help of some of those people too.
Yeah. Well, like the first time you hired somebody that was very experienced and very qualified, like Steve, the ex-military. Like, were you intimidated to do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm always intimidated to hire people that are my first sales guy that I hired. He was actually not my first, my third salesperson that I hired. He was twice my age and was very seasoned, very experienced. And I had loads of imposter syndrome of like, what am I doing? Here's me in my, middle 20s hiring this guy. But, it was all in my own head. And There's just that's, I think, something that everyone has to kind of overcome is if you're confident enough in your vision of what is possible and you sell someone very smart and very talented on that vision, I kind of learned to take that as a comforting fact where it's like, wow, even this person who's really gifted and experienced sees the vision. They don't need to sell it as much because they already bought into it. And it's not really dependent on you because they know how to deliver on that vision and they have confidence, which is why they're, coming aboard your team.
Yeah.
So that changes a lot too.
Hey, what's up, business nerd? Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you learned a heck of a lot watching that episode. Do me a favor, subscribe right down here. And if you really like what you saw, you got more goods right here. Check out this one or check out this one and do this. Go subscribe. Appreciate you. Work smarter, work harder, go earn yourself some pride. Catch you on the next one.